kind of style Cedric's doing?
Thug, but I'm saying.
Comedic thug.
Which look are you speaking of? Because I did one of Cedric's looks.
He did one of his suits.
Oh, okay.
One of his looks for that night. I did the two-tone black and gray thing that he did the sequence with.
Okay. But it's got an overall look that's very consistent.
With the hats.
What is it? Is that dandy too? I don't know.
I mean, I really wouldn't call that dandyism.
No. Hello.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Oh gosh, we're excited today.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah,
in the
it's
neighborhood.
A little overcast, but it's making the picture look good. I don't know.
Before we get started, just want to remind everybody to follow my mom and subscribe to her YouTube channel, Vicki.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes.
Yes. Please do.
You guys, oh my God, please. Okay, so you said where we were supposed to go. I got to show you guys something exciting. You want it?
There
Okay.
Oh, Thrash, before we get started, I got to show you. Look what I got.
Oh, you got what's the name? It was the Teflon.
I just got my Teflon bag yesterday. So I want everybody to see I got my purse, y'all. I got a fancy purse. How are you doing?
Hey, Thrash.
Hey, you know, I haven't seen
Oh,
this
it's
since
dark.
we were downtown at the studio.
Yeah, let me.
Last time we saw him, it was at the Jonathan McReynolds and Molly Music
recording. Right.
You know,
before that downtown, then at the recording.
you know they're getting ready to do something again.
They're dropping their album.
They're dropping their album and the concert's coming.
Oh, they are. Yeah, I was just texting with Jonathan a few days ago, actually. But yeah, we ain't talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna see your face. Everybody's getting on. You gotta get it off.
No, I'm getting this light. I didn't know that it was gonna do that when I
Oh, when you came on. Well,
yeah, I didn't know it was gonna do that.
Something that I wrote about you. How about that? Okay. We talked about, first of all, we're starting to put these shows on YouTube, so that's exciting. And we just want to thank all of you guys who have been constantly supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
And of course, I wrote something about Thrash. This is going to be really exciting today while he gets ready. Thrash includes fashion, style, creativity, excitement, and above all, I remember the first day I met Thrash in the studio. He looked about 8 foot tall.
He looks like that.
Right. Like he looks about now. And I would call him, he had this wonderful Basquiat type hair with clothes. He had a suit on with plaids, darling, and flowers, and legs for days. I think, seriously, I'm about as tall as your legs, Thrash. I think I'm about as tall as your legs. Okay, you got that light going? I was sure that you could do anything in fashion. The moment I saw you, I said, yes. We still getting some funny, okay, there we go. There we go. And I said that Thrash has that swag. He's got that swag. He's got that in his lane of his own kind of thing. And he has the audacity to make fashion totally relevant the way he wants to do it. Designing for Cedric the Entertainer in last week's Emmys and working for people like French Montana, you'll tell us some of the other names, a football player named AJ Green, Molly Music, Jonathan McReynolds, I think you were doing that hair. So today we're going to talk to Thrash about being a fashionable person, a barber to the stars. We're going to talk about the Emmys, the Met Gala, and whatever else we want to talk about, darling. Let's give it to Thrash.
It's good to be here. Feel good to be around good, positive, genuine energy. Every time we cross paths is real love. Like it feels like it's real family. So I appreciate having me.
Absolutely, Thrash. And for those who, there's Ernest Pugh, who's a fashionista.
And that's Destiny right there.
Oh, Destiny. Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And we got a lot of great people
Donna
on.
Glitch.
So, Donna Glitch. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Destiny.
How you doing, baby? So we've got a lot of our friends coming on too. And but Thrash. Okay. Y'all, you can see him, and you've got to go on his sites and everything that we talk about.
My glasses.
Yeah, I know. See, I really went for it today, and I said I'm gonna be myself because Thrash is gonna be himself. So, Thrash, tell us a little bit about your childhood. What's going on? We've only got one.
Yeah.
Should we drive around somewhere? Thrash, for some reason, all of a sudden, let's see, we don't have. We don't have the we're not getting the bars we should supposed to. So I guess he fell off. Go around on the other side. We're gonna wait and get him right back. It's on our side. All of a sudden we don't have enough bars where we are. I don't think we even checked to look. Let's go on the other side.
We had it. So we got back in.
Okay. I'm not sure what's happening. Are you guys still getting us? Okay, because we're going to be talking about everything wonderful. Hi, Tan. Hi, Elena. That's my cousin. I'm so glad that Donna Glitch is on. That's my baby, Destiny. Okay, now we've got some bars. So that was our fault. There's their flashing. Yeah, Thrash.
All right, we're back.
For some reason, we always are in the same place, but we're not getting the bar. We weren't getting the bar, so I think now will be better.
Okay.
Okay, where we are, and let's see if we can get your light. But anyway, tell us about your childhood. When you get close to us, we can really see. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna have to get real close. So tell us. I want to know how you got to have all this sway and this hair, and I heard you're from Hawkinsville. I mean, how does that happen in Hawkinsville?
He's good. Okay, we're good though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm wondering if today we're just having an overall craziness. Yeah, he is a country boy. Absolutely. It's not us, is it?
It's not us. It's him. It's him. So you guys are fine.
Okay. Hi, Jazzy Bits. Gosh, we got all this fashion stuff to talk about. Hey, how many of you guys saw the Met Gala anyway? I guess Thrash may not be in a. Where's the view request, Jamel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should be good.
Hello. We got all our people. I don't know. It's the devil.
I think that was my fault. Yeah, I think that was.
Okay.
I was trying to get all of the comments to get off of the screen so I could just see more of the screen, and it closed it out by mistake.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I heard.
Get real close. Yeah. Then we can.
I heard you ask about me being from Hawkinsville.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do y'all know where Hawkinsville is?
No.
Yeah, I ain't think so. Yeah.
Right in the middle. If I shot right in the middle of Georgia, I'd hit it.
Right there. So yeah, so I'm a country boy from the middle of Georgia, and man, I grew up an athlete my whole life. Like I was an athlete all the way till I went to college on a full football scholarship.
All right.
Yeah, so I didn't have any fashion background. I wasn't. I mean, I used to sketch stuff here back here and there, but like I never really saw it as like an outlet or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like my family isn't really. I don't really have anybody that's like a artist or creative like that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of in my family.
Really?
So yes, like everything I do is like pretty genuine. You know what I mean? It's like I know my stepbrother. He was like he used to draw. He was really good with like Legos and all that type of stuff, and I kind of admired that growing up. But as far as like the style and the fashion stuff, man, like it's very genuine. It's just.
when did it pop up inside of you? I mean, when did this happen?
I think it's something that always been in me. It was just I just always wanted to dress well. I just always wanted to look nice. You know what I mean? And that's just something that was embedded in me. I can't really explain where it came from. It's just something I was always into. But I also, like I said, I'm from the country, so like I never knew it as an outlet or anything. That's just what I knew. This is me. This is what feels right to me. This is what I like. But I didn't know about fashion. I didn't know about being a designer. I didn't know about being a stylist. I didn't know about any of that stuff until I was grown, pretty much.
I mean, so okay, this is very confusing to me. So you're in a place like Hawkinsville, Georgia. Were you dressing fancy then? Were you one of these kids that wore suits a lot?
So I grew up in a few different places. So like my family is from Hawkinsville. So like I pretty much grew up there majority, but I moved with my daddy where I was living at first I was living like 30 minutes away from Hawkinsville in a town called Warner Robins. And so like that's where I went to that's mainly where I went to school at. And I'd be in Hawkinsville like every other weekend or something like that for the most part. But yeah, I was always dressing different. I remember my ninth grade,
even as a child.
I remember my ninth grade year. So like, listen, my family real big into the church. So I was in church 2-3 nights a week. You know what I mean? And I got in trouble my freshman year of high school when I was still in Georgia, and my dad started making me wear my church clothes to school, and I got this nickname as Church Boy, and all this stuff. And like little did, you know what I'm saying, my family know that would end up being something that kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of defined me, I guess, because now that I'm known for like wearing suits and things like that. But yeah, but like,
because let me tell you, one of the most iconic moments, you have many iconic moments, but the Black Panther video with Cedric Lamar, you standing there and all your iconicness is still embedded in my mind.
Were you a part of that, or?
Yeah, so you want to know a very interesting story about that?
I didn't know that you did that Black Panther video.
Yeah, so I was actually kind of frustrated with that situation. I mean, I was glad to be a part of it, but so what happened was the casting director was a friend of mine that I knew, and he called me one day. He was like, "Thrash, I got this Kendrick Lamar video that we doing, and we want your style for it, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Do you have any friends that dress like that as well?" And I was like, I got a little crew of people. So they was like, you want like 4 of y'all to kind of like be mobbing with Kendrick. So I was like, cool. So I get a few of my homeboys to send in like little videos or whatever for them to approve of them. They ended up scratching all of them. They were just like, nah, we just gonna keep you. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I get on set. They've hired like 3 or 4 other actors to be the other dandy guys, right?
Yeah.
This whole African Black Panther music video, all black vibes. I get there, it was like 3 like white girls that were doing wardrobe trying to dress other models like me. What you see me wearing in that video is what I wore. I took the train to Long Beach for that video. That's what I had on the train all the way from Glendale to Long Beach. Let's just be, clothes.
So they were trying to be you.
Be you.
Yeah, so I get there and they bring all us over to wardrobe, and the stylist chick, she's looking at me, she's like, "Oh my God," she's like, "You're just amazing. Like we can't touch anything on you." I'm like, "Duh, like that's why they called me here. Like what are you talking about?" So now they got me standing right here. They got the other 3 guys. It was 3 or 4 guys. I forget how many guys it was. They got the other model guys. They're looking at me, taking stuff off the rack, putting it on the model, then look back at me like, "Oh, we need to make the man. Oh, can you go grab like some colorful socks? Can you go get some more colorful pocket squares?" Like they like literally like making me stand here and like dissecting.
So they can copy your style.
It like right.
Okay,
come on, bro.
We gotta talk about something else because I'm getting ready to get mad.
Yes.
She just let you come.
I'm getting ready to do my power to the people thing in 5
What they
seconds.
do to us?
That ain't even the end of it. So we doing the whole thing. These guys, I mean,
Stay close.
on camera they looked okay. You know what I mean? But like it wasn't as like fine tuned as like as far as the tailoring of how my stuff fit and things like that. Like they didn't have. So we get on set. And I'm not sure if y'all familiar with my book that I came out with a couple years ago.
Yes.
I'm not. No.
Yeah. So I came out with this book, but it hadn't came out yet. I was almost about to drop it, but the cover of my book was done, right?
Yeah.
A photo of that outfit that I'm wearing on the cover of my book online. Mind you, I know they already know about me. I know I'm already a part of the mood board because they called me personally for this.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking of
walks into the set. If I say he don't have on a carbon copy outfit of what the outfit was cover my book.
Oh my
So
God.
next time you go watch that video, look at what he is wearing, and then go back at the photo of the cover of my book. So this is all at the same time. I'm dealing with this with the wardrobe and dressing the other background guys, and then Cedric walks in and he has on one of my outfits I just posted on Instagram.
Without even asking the designer to even like, I feel like that's what we go through so much as Black designers in this culture. And there was even an artist who was like, hey, y'all done took my whole art for that video, as well as that there's so much creativity to go around, and instead of them honoring the people who are the creators, they just copy it and give it to somebody else. And it hurts me even more when it's our brothers and sisters who are also on the other side of it, because you would think that they were somehow aware enough to just say like, yo, don't.
They just want to
do
duplicate.
that.
But you know what? So I just spoke on a panel a few days ago for one of my friends' events about, it was for like Black men's mental health. And one thing I was talking about was how no one can make you mad. You can allow people to make you mad.
That's right.
With those types of things, man, I've learned to just understand that I am a tastemaker.
Yeah.
I have a certain status in the fashion world, and people are gonna be inspired. People are gonna copy. People are gonna be inspired. People are gonna do their due diligence. And if you're putting it out there, you can only expect that other people. Everyone doesn't have the same like character that we have toward in these type of situations. So for me, as far as the mental health thing we was talking about, I was like, I just come to peace with. I can't control what people are gonna do. I know what I do from the genuineness of my heart, from my own personal, you know what I mean, creativity and things like that. And I just don't allow myself to get upset over, because I put it out there and people are going to do it what they want.
Yeah, they're going.
Yeah.
But tell us, for those that don't know you, what is your style all about? And one of the words that I heard explaining kind of what you do is that you're a Black dandy. What does that mean? And what do you do? Because, I mean, I'm surprised you're so calm today, honey, with a T-shirt and stuff on. Every time I see you got plaids and things on.
I mean, I still...
Hey!
I ain't going to disappoint y'all that bad. I was running around.
The floral patterns in the background there a little bit.
That's right. Let them know.
All about the cover of my book.
All right. Okay, serve us.
So that's the picture from the cover of the book.
Let auntie and uncle know.
Okay.
All right.
So, okay, I know I was getting a little disappointed there. I said he got on the T-shirt and stuff, but then the pants and stuff. I understand. But tell us, what is a Black dandy, and what is that all about?
I mean, so as far as the term dandy goes, a dandy is just a person who like pays attention to the details. They dress with a certain flair to express themselves in the menswear space. So in suiting, so something that is typically looked at as being very white collar or stiff or boring. A dandy is that person who is a vibrant version of that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There was a name too.
You know, just one thing, just from last couple, this last week, as we, got into knowing who you are more in more depth, your background, and one of the things I have to say as a man, I was afraid of color. Mm-hmm. And it was something that I never embraced. Mm-hmm. And some people, I see you and I embrace that, and it's reflected. And even though I said, I really would like to do that, but I never had the courage to embrace certain things. And so I said, wow, maybe I'm missing out because I'm not embracing color.
You gotta swag out, Dan. You gotta live your life.
That's all from watching you and observing you and what you do. So that's kind of like the influence you had in just checking you out. And I embrace color.
And I appreciate that, because that's a really big part of like my whole mission with what I do for a living, is showing people, especially like me coming from the South, coming from no saying a smaller community, is showing people that you can still be the same guy. Because we have this whole thing with, at least the way I was raised is like, if you're into fashion or you into arts or anything, that you gotta be technically soft, or you might have to be, you know what I'm saying, sexual or whatever. It's like, no, bro, just be who you know what I'm saying, who you
whoever you are, right?
Yeah. So, and that's what it's like. I'm a straight male who isn't afraid to wear colors, flowers, floral, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so that's kind of what it is. It's like showing people that like, no, when you meet Thrash, you like, oh no, Thrash a regular dude now.
No,
But
you
I gotta say, this is Vicki being messy now. I saw you and a guy you were working with. He had on one of these skirts with a jacket, and I think it's Norris, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it looked good. And so I want to know, like I said, this is my being messy. What do you think about this whole vibe now with men wearing skirts and the plaids and the kilts or the? What do you think about all this?
See, me, I'm a very traditional person, right? So even though I'll step outside of the box, so I've worn kilts and things like that. So that's what Norris had on. Norris had on a kilt.
A kilt.
A kilt, yeah.
Understand the background behind these things.
That's right.
Different from a woman's skirt. Like there's real details to it that make it a kilt compared to a skirt. Exactly. So what I've worn and what Norris was wearing is an actual kilt. You know what I'm saying? From Scottish heritage.
Yeah.
So that's something that I was wearing because I've researched this. I've understood this. It's something that I was inspired by, and I wanted to give my version of what that is. I didn't care if nobody thought it was a skirt. I didn't care if anybody thought it was feminine. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't got
you
nothing.
Just doing you.
Yeah, I'm just doing me. So like, even with, you know what I'm saying, all of the things that's going on in the fashion space today, with men being a lot more liberal with the way that they dress, is like, I'm here for it, man. And whether you straight or gay, the clothes that you put on has nothing to do with that. I don't care what you wear. It may not be for me.
Right.
It may not be something that I would choose to wear, but creatively, I can see the art in all of it.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's more like art. But you are quite flamboyant in your look. I mean, you do a lot of flowers. A lot of times you do pinks. And so I was wondering, I guess we're just gonna kind of get to it. All of a sudden you were in college, and from college you started, I think this is the metamorphosis of what started you on this fashion thing. You were a barber?
Yeah, so I started cutting hair when I was in high school. I started cutting hair, I think, my junior year in high school. So it's crazy because I only started cutting hair because my daddy wouldn't let me get my hair cut as much as I wanted to.
Your dad is over here he's just giving you pivots.
Exactly, that's what it was, right? So that's why I started cutting hair, and I never saw myself being a barber though. So when I went to college, I was cutting all of my teammates' hair. I was cutting other people around campus hair. And like I said, but I never seen myself as being a barber. It was just like a craft that I had. So once my college career ended, I was lost. Like all I knew my entire life, 100% of my life had been full of sports. That's all I knew was sports. I never ventured into anything else but sports. So all of a sudden, the lights get turned off, and it's like, what do I do tomorrow? Like, I don't know, because I got kicked out of college. So the next day, I'm like, what do I do? So luckily, I had a friend. I used to be a promoter in college. So I used to throw like parties and stuff. And one of the local promoters in Charleston, that was a good friend of mine, older guy. I didn't know that he was a barber because I only knew him in the nightlife space. I didn't know what he did during the daytime. And someone ended up telling me that he was a barber, and I was like, oh, dang, like, let me go talk to him. So he's the person that helped me get into a barbershop, helped me get licensed and stuff. But what happened was I was in that shop for a couple years, and like this is when Thrash just started becoming this creative, whatever you want to call it. And I just started envisioning things different, man. And I remember I was sitting in a barbershop one day, and I was watching TV, and I was like, I know whoever cutting Jay-Z's hair, whoever cutting Diddy's hair, whoever cutting these people's hair for these commercials, I know they ain't getting no $12 for a haircut like I'm getting right now.
That's right.
That's literally where everything started.
Yeah.
That's a revelatory statement.
Yeah, I was like, I ain't the smartest man in the world, but I know one thing. I know they ain't no $12 for a haircut. So my next thing was like, I had to position myself in the market to be around these types of people and, you know what I'm saying, and opportunities. So I was given the opportunity to move to LA. Literally 2 weeks later, I was on my first flight. I was 23 years old. First time I was ever on an airplane.
Wow.
So your first flight, you're going to LA.
Yep. Never visited, never thought about coming to LA like that. Just hopped on a plane. 10 years later, I'm still here.
I mean, so you get on this plane. You come to LA. Do you have any money or anything? You got a place to stay? What you doing?
I had $800. I had $800.
In LA.
Yeah.
Dinner sometimes.
I had $800 in my name, no job. All I had was my clippers, and I knew that as long as I had my clippers, I'd be able to make enough money to at least feed myself every day.
Wow.
That's crazy. But
Thrash,
so I'm still trying to find out this fashionista thing. I mean, but you've been wearing suits and stuff and just
All right, so we have to go back again. So when I was in Charleston, like I said, I've always been known for dressing well.
Yeah.
So I started thrifting like a couple years probably before I actually moved to LA. And when I thrift, the only thing I was interested in was like the crazy like 70s patterned coats and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So when I moved to LA, well, I can't even go. It's a whole lot of stuff in there. So I was dressing myself very well. I started modeling, and I was working with this photographer named Terrence. And well, his Instagram is Terrence Antonio, I believe. I think it's Terrence Antonio. That's his Instagram name. So when I started modeling with him, of course, I was wearing all my own clothes. So he started asking me to help style other models that he was shooting. And at the time, I don't know nothing about being a stylist. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm like, nah, bro, that ain't really nothing I'm into.
this is crazy.
Yeah, but so he's the guy who actually introduced me to being a stylist. So once I moved to LA and I was moving around like Hollywood and I was in the clubs and stuff, and like people started knowing me for being the tall guy that dressed cool and all that kind of stuff.
How tall are you?
6'4".
Okay, you seem even taller than that. I guess it's because you're so thin.
Yeah.
I'm so short.
But yeah, so when I moved to LA, just being around, you know what I'm saying, the industry, I was able to start meeting people in the fashion industry, and I like assisted a few stylists on certain jobs, and then I booked my first like personal styling gig for AJ Green back in the day. So that was like
He's a football player, right?
Say it again.
He's a football player, AJ Green.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was like my first like real styling gig where I made like real money. You know what I mean? And from there on, I just started calling myself a stylist. And
and people were hiring you.
I dressed myself so well that like, it was easy. It was an easy sell. It was like, oh, of course you're a stylist. You know what I mean? Like, look at the way you dress. Of course you're a stylist. So
you know how hard that is to do in LA? Because so many people say stuff, but you really pulled it off. Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't a short journey now. It definitely took time for me to get my footing and to get solidified and established. It definitely took a while, but I had like little wins here and there, but it wasn't nothing like consistent to where like I'm making a living by being a stylist. Like it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? When I first moved out here.
So you had to do hair.
Yes, I was cutting hair and styling. Yeah. Which
you still do, right?
Yep.
You still
what? You say I still do what?
Hair.
Yes, I still do hair. Yes.
Because we saw you on the set for Jonathan and Molly Music. Yeah. And you were doing hair there on that one. But
did you do Jonathan's hair or did you do both?
I think did I cut? No, I think I only did Jonathan's hair. Yeah. So cutting Jonathan's hair for a couple years now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. But is it true that you stayed on people's couches for 5 years?
Yeah, I slept on couches for 5 years.
That's crazy.
Like, so all of that success people thought I had and all of this and all you see me hanging with this celebrity, like that don't equate to my pockets.
Right.
LA is just LA. You know what I mean? Like right. I'm a genuine good person, so I have genuine good people, and I'm able to be in certain rooms because of the way I carry myself, because of the way I dress, because of the way I look. I'm accepted know what I'm saying, in a lot of places. But I ain't had no money back then. I was broke. I remember calling my boy one time, asking him, because I knew he had food stamps. I remember calling him, asking him to take me to the grocery store to buy me like sandwich meat and bread and stuff with his food stamps because I ain't had no money.
That's wow. I mean, but I want everybody to hear the hustle. We have another great stylist, Edward Roebuck.
But somebody said, did you source your stuff from thrift stores or did you do them yourself? The clothes when you were styling stuff.
I mean, back when I was styling, it was a little bit of everything. I mean, as a stylist, you do what you got to do to come up with the whatever the look is. So pulling from certain showrooms to pulling from different brands to thrifting things and reworking them, like just depending on what what the project called for.
Okay. So tell us some of the other people that we might know that you styled, some of them, or that you designed for, because that's where you're going now, huh?
Yes. I mean, so I mainly design now. I don't really do too much styling anymore.
Okay.
I've worked with a lot of good people, man. From, like I said, I just did the Cedric the Entertainer. Trinidad James is a good client of mine who wears a lot of my stuff.
Yes.
It's crazy. I every time someone asks me this,
Sam Aoki.
Sam Aoki.
Yes, I'm making 4 new suits for him, like right now as we speak.
Oh, okay. Sam's our boy.
He's a black dandy. He's always
been dandy.
You want to hear an amazing story about me and Sam?
Yeah.
So he's on the show Dynasty.
Mm-hmm. Right, Dynasty.
So I met Sam through one of our mutual friends, Erie, one day, and he called me. He was like, "Hey, bro, I got this event I'm going to. Can you help me have my suit tailored that I'm gonna wear?" I was like, "Cool. Meet me at this address." I sent him the address to the tailor that I used, and at that day, I just happened to have on like this Nigerian green double-breasted suit.
Oh boy.
So I walk in the tailor.
Nigerian green. What's Nigeria? Oh, you like the flag? That
like,
green?
Oh, green. It's like now I have it in my room though. But so it's just like this all green suit that I had on. And as soon as I walked in the door, Sam was like, "Bro,
that's it.
I need that suit."
Yeah.
That's how you met.
So he FaceTimed the head of wardrobe for Dynasty and turned the camera around and showed. He was like, "I need this exact suit."
Yeah. He called
2 days later, I was making a suit for him.
He called Mary.
And that's how that relationship started with me designing for his suits for Dynasty.
That's amazing.
I mean, so I'm trying to understand this. So you're a football player, then you're barbering. You come to LA barbering, but you're looking so good. You saying you end up styling other men, and
he's been styling himself.
And then now you're doing now you're a designer with your own house. That is it's just amazing. So the other thing I noticed, though, I want to talk a little bit more about this Met Gala. No, I want to talk about the Emmys for a minute.
Okay.
What is that style Cedric's doing? You did a great job of it, but is it like hustler, whatever style it is? I like it. It looked good on him, but what do you call that kind of style Cedric's doing? Comedic thug.
Which look are you speaking of? Because I did one of Cedric's looks.
He did one of his suits.
Okay. One of his looks for that now. I did the two-tone black and gray thing that he did the sequence with.
Okay. But it's got an overall look that's very consistent.
With the hats.
What is it? Is that dandy too? I don't know.
I mean, I really wouldn't call that dandyism.
No.
But like, Cedric's always been known for his style. He's always been known for wearing suits and his hats and things like that. So I was definitely excited to be able to work with him on this and like give my flair, because as a designer, we always see things that we like, especially on TV and all these red carpets. We like, oh, that's dope, but I would have did it this way. I had a chance to do it my way.
Okay. So do you think men are? Is the regular black tuxedo now, is that passe? Because I'm seeing now that men are just wild. I mean, they're as fabulous now as women on the red carpet. So is the tux passe?
And that's what I've been waiting for, man. That's what I've been always arguing about back in the day when I didn't have, you know what I'm saying, the platform that I have. Is like, bro, like, why is everybody so boring on the red carpet? Like, nobody's actually creative. Nobody's actually pushing the envelope. And so yeah, so that's what I'm glad to see where it's at right now. Like, wear as many dresses and paint your fingernails as you want. Like, just push the
Just go there.
You're here for all of it, huh?
Yeah, like, I'm here for all of it because like I said, it may not be for me.
Yeah.
But it may be something that I take from, but I'm like, that's kind of cool. I never thought about that. I appreciate that.
Well, what do you think about Billy Porter? Because, I mean, I got to say, some of his outfits I like, some of them I don't. But I did like when he came in on this, he had a black velvet jacket on with this big old skirt. But I just thought it was pure art, and I loved it.
And that's kind of where I sent it at. Like, it's definitely not anything for me. It's not nothing that I would ever see myself wearing. It's not nothing I see myself designing. But like I said, it's art. It's art.
Yeah.
Art.
But you would wear a kilt.
Yeah, well, I definitely wear a kilt, but it's like I'm gonna wear it in a very traditional style though.
Okay. Right. Okay, because that is your style. So who's your favorite designer? Ralph
Lauren. Easy, off top. And you can definitely see a lot of Ralph in
for sure.
Yeah. As far as the colors, the patterns, the very traditional silhouettes of what I do. Like, you don't see me really do any like avant-garde type stuff. Like, everything.
No, you're right.
Turn the lights off. If you take the color off of my clothing, I have very traditional suits.
Very traditional.
Okay.
Trade to mix and match and flip. Take that. You know what I'm saying? Use this. Take this off of this. Like, if you see my apartment, my pillows and things, well, I have two apartments. My other apartment, like my drapes and things, like all of those look and feel like my suits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I like
flower with a tweed. And, you know, someone was talking about how you like plaids, and I wanted to tell you something. I know we talk about the Scottish and stuff like that, but you remind me and look like a Maasai warrior. And they were the ones wearing them plaids first. The red and blue plaids. And I could just see you with a pole and one of those, Maasai things. And I want to tell you, brother, before the Scottish, there were the Maasai wearing those beautiful blankets and stuff. And I just saw that. I mean, way even before the Scottish, but you do like plaids.
Yeah, their patterns are specific.
Plaids and tartans,
Plaids and what?
Tartans.
Tartans, okay. Okay, so, I mean, like, you were saying that you think that the tuxedo is kind of like, if you wear the traditional,
I don't think it's ever going to go anywhere because it's timeless. It's classic. It's timeless. It's never going to go anywhere. But people are going to push the envelope, and it's finally happening. And I'm here for it. Like, things just can't always stay the same. As much as we want to be, as much as we want things to kind of stay the same, it's like, but we got to push the culture forward and see, where we can go. You know what I mean? Like I said, I literally write everything off as everything is not going to be for everybody. So don't hate on what other people are not afraid to do.
Right.
Yeah.
But how do you find yourself? Like, today I made a point of being my authentic self. This is Vicki. And of course I've got my earrings on that my sister makes from Mack Artistry. But this is me, authentically me. I kind of like that Afro turban feel. It makes me feel like a queen. How does a person find themselves in fashion?
So I think that it comes with being true to yourself and being accepting of the things that interest you, right? Like saying, like I can speak from where I'm from. It's like we have this whole thing to where we're afraid to be open to certain things, right? Because we're raised just to be these hard-nosed country boys, you know what I mean, and manly men or whatever. And so you're afraid to. You might see these things that you're into, that you're interested in, but like it's like I can't wear that around my homies. I can't wear that, you know what I mean? So, and I just was that person who didn't care. It's like, nah, bro, y'all gonna get the same thrash. I'm still tatted up, gold teeth, dreads. But
you got gold teeth sometimes.
But I got on this plaid suit though. You know what I mean? With these pink trousers on, like, you know what I'm saying? You gonna get all that. And
a leopard shoe.
But you say that, and I'm not disputing you, but there is still, let's say, like a reason to that man. There's some underlying principles that somehow you picked up that I didn't. Which allows you to put this stuff together in a very artistic kind of way. So I'm just saying that's a gift.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. My thing was like, I honestly didn't care. I definitely had to break through some walls that I did have up.
Yes.
I definitely break through certain things. And sorry about that. But and that's because of me being in this, like me being able to grow to the place that I've grown now by leaving where I'm from. Once I left, I was able to expand and like, you know what? This ain't as whack as I thought it was, or it ain't as corny as I thought it was. So that goes back to what I was saying is like being able to be true to yourself and being like, you know what? I do like this, and I don't care what nobody thinks. So that I think that's where it comes from. So with me, what happened was I was always inspired by like Ivy League style. Like that was just a thing. I don't know. Like that's why Ralph was my favorite designer. That was just a thing with me. But then I was also inspired by other things that I didn't know why. Like I remember in high school, like I said, I was an athlete, but I thought the skater kids was cool. I thought these rocker kids, I thought that the way that they had got all these pins and patches on their jackets, I thought that type of stuff was cool. So what is happening is I mix all this together.
Yeah.
Right.
Trash.
We have a friend named Terrence who wanted to ask you, what was your favorite period? The 40s, what did you say? The 40s, the 50s, or the 70s? What's your favorite period?
Throws it all together.
But that was a question from one of our viewers.
My favorite, if I had to pick one, I'd probably say 70s maybe. I have to say 70s. Just because like I feel like the 70s was very eccentric. Like all the colors, all the patterns, the bell bottoms, the high waist.
Yeah, I was there for that.
I was there for all that. The big lapels. Like I'm here for all of it. And you see a lot of that in a lot of the things that I design.
Yeah, that's true.
I just wondered what you look like in a big old platform, because when I was in college, it was Sly and the Family Stone, baby. We were there, the pros and the striped bell bottoms, and oh my Lord, yes.
Thrash would be on his slide. He would be on his slide.
Yeah. So platforms, you know what's crazy? I was just in the Louboutin store the other week. Well, actually, when I was buying sets.
Oh, Loub? You mean the red bottom?
Yeah, the red bottom store.
Yes, the Louboutin.
They had some platforms in there, and I was like, bro, this is wild. And this is one of those moments where I was like, do I really not like this, or am I paying this attention right now because somehow deep down I kind of do like it? It's like this wouldn't even caught my attention if I didn't like it. So is it something there where I'm actually interested into it? I'm just not there yet. I haven't matured into that yet. But I was looking at it, I'm like, bro, this is wild. This is crazy. It ain't for me right now, but
maybe.
I used to wear those.
Of like eventually one day it may make sense.
Yeah, I used to wear
like,
in
you know what?
college.
I'm ready to do that.
Yeah. I used to go and to all of my classes, I mean, in the highest platforms they made. I was wearing them. It was just crazy. But now I wanted to go back a little bit. You're so free. It almost doesn't make sense to ask you the question. Men are also changing their look, not just their clothes and being freer with that, but now with the barbers, you got man weaves and man beards and where are you with all that?
So I mean that one I'm on the other side. I ain't here for it. So but because I believe that, like saying, you should be true to yourself, and if you happen to start balding, like know what I'm saying? That's just part of your journey. Like you had it at one point, you ain't got it now. So I don't feel nothing's wrong with going bald if you start losing your hair. You know what I mean? Like nothing's wrong.
That's funny. I thought you would have been on the other side of that. Whatever you said, you like that.
His
my lash is coming out.
Traditional. So I can see why. Yeah. Because there's a gracefulness to your fashion and how you're elevating the style. And I think with men, it's sometimes if there's no elegance with the paint because it will fall off and the beard. There's like a,
I like some of the man weaves. I don't like that spray thing though.
But that's the thing. That's the thing with those things. Like you realize you have to use that stuff for like those man units. They call. You have to use that type of stuff because think about if you're putting this toupee, technically what it kind of is. Yeah. You can't blend that hair into your real hair because your real hair is eventually going to start growing.
That part.
Right.
That hair ain't going to grow nowhere. So yeah, it look good coming out the barber chair, but what is it going to look like the next morning after you wake up? You gonna slept on it. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's like.
I have a friend though who has one, and he looks fantastic. I must say.
No, it don't look.
We see him after he has it done.
Yeah, you gotta. There's been a couple of people where I'm like, why hasn't somebody from the team told them that they should just be bald? They should just be bald. It's okay that they're older in age. They need to stop coloring the hair. We can see the gray all the way underneath because the hair is still growing out, and we see it.
And I talk to my clients about this stuff. It's just like, I'm not a fan of it. I don't even do it. Like I've had clients ask me to do it. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm not.
That's real love.
Yeah.
I was thinking going back just a little bit. See, I grew up in Detroit, so there's a whole different style there.
Culture there,
and you talk about dandies. There's a whole bunch of dandies in all kind of ways. But I lost them when I came to LA because I used to, the colors. I lost the colors along the way. So it's just kind of interesting because I look at the style when I was a teenager and how the guys used to dress in suits and purple and green, lime green, and yellow. They but it be all the way live. The shoes, the hats.
That's different. That's not dandy daddy.
What is that?
That's a little Steve. That's a little Steve Harvey.
That's
pimp life.
That's pimp life. Okay. Well, that's what I was aware.
I put on
was never
lashes for you, Thrash, and my lash is coming off.
Is acting up? Go ahead.
Just take it off.
It's real life right here. Do your thing.
Yes, I guess it is.
Life happens. I said life happens. Go ahead and turn
up.
Well,
what's happening to me right now because I was real cute a few minutes ago, but I guess that's what happens with fashion. But there's something else you said. You are a sartorial. You call yourself sartorial rock star.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
So a sartorialist is simply a person who uses a tailor for their clothing, right?
Oh.
So, but like I was saying earlier, when you think of a sartorialist, you typically think of like very like white collar Wall Street. You think of office desk jobs. That's what you think of when you think of a sartorialist. And I was trying to rewrite that narrative with, I wear suits, but it don't mean I'm this stiff, boring business guy. You know what I mean? I still have a vibrant personality. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where the rock star part came in at. Because I'm wearing a suit, but you'll catch me in the wildest of environments in that same suit.
Right.
Yeah, so that's where that mixture came from.
You're not gonna find your fabrics at those places.
Nah, definitely not.
Yeah, where do you get your fabrics now that you have a fashion house that you're developing? You've had it for 2 years now. Where are you? Can you tell us some of the?
Are you designing your own fabrics?
Well, don't give too many of the secrets out.
You're not gonna give too many secrets.
Nah, so I get fabric from a number of places. I mean, I have different mills that I can order fabric from from overseas, Italy, Australia, Europe, all these different things. But also, I still shop locally here. You know what I mean? I go to Mood Fabrics. I may go to International. It just depends. I try to use, you know what I'm saying, the best quality fabrics that I can, especially for the quality of suits that I make, as well as my, you know what I'm saying, my level of clientele that I have. So I try to use the best, you know what I'm saying, quality fabrics. But yeah, I source stuff from all over the place, man.
Wow.
I just still make fabrics as well. Like I have a fabric right here that I just had to have printed because my client wanted a very specific color stripe suit. And I was like, I can't guarantee that I'm gonna find that fabric anytime soon.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just had to
have that fabric printed, yeah.
Wow. I feel like it's the fabric stores aren't what they used to be. It used to be where you would just get so many decadent materials, and now it just
people aren't sewing like they used to.
There's a lot of things that are happening in the fashion world that aren't like they used to be.
But people don't sew.
For like I said, I'm actually pretty new to the game. You know what I mean? So I can't really.
Okay.
Like International Silks and Woolens,
that's in LA.
Well, he just said that's one of the places that he goes to. But that used to be like the place to get your fabric, and like it would just be stuff where you couldn't find anywhere. And there was another place called F&S Fabrics that had just creme of the creme. And
yeah, International Silks and Woolens, but they be wanting that ticket for they fabric.
Oh,
yeah,
because they've been servicing Hollywood for forever.
On the sets of just everything. Forever. But Jazzy Bits just told me my lash is about to fly out.
Taking off like a 747.
But you know, back in the day when I was a little girl, my mother and my aunties and some of you others may have had the same experience. Yeah. They used to look at a Vogue magazine and be able to copy that dress or whatever it was right from the magazine. And so I know Edward Roebuck, I think he was saying his mom or somebody did that too. But yeah, we all used to do that back in the day. We'd be wearing fashion all the time because our mothers were called seamstresses. They didn't call them designers, but they were actually designing and could copy as well. So
yeah, because I mean they didn't have the dollars. I mean we were upper
and that's
poor,
the beauty.
You know what I'm saying? So
beauty.
We had to do what we could.
Yeah, that's the beauty and the creativeness that we have right there in itself. Like that stuff I love to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there was this other thing you were saying that you noticed when there were a bunch of black kids, I guess, they were in a room or in a store or something, they were being treated very badly. And then when you walked into the store with your suit and everything, you were treated totally differently, and that you wanted to be a part of changing the narrative of how black kids were seen and envisioned. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just something that I've seen kind of my whole life, especially back when I was younger and I was walking around sagging my pants and wearing clothes that's way too big, compared to one day I walked in a Ralph Lauren store, and I forgot where I was leaving. I was leaving like a banquet or something, and I was dressed up, and I had on like, you know what I'm saying, Ralph Lauren stuff, whatever. And I was wearing Ralph the way that you see it in the magazines, right? I had on the little above the knee shorts that fit like they're supposed to, and the fitted polo shirt. I just saw how they reacted, and I was like, it's like I was one of them.
Mm-hmm. And by the way you dressed, by the way you presented yourself.
Yeah. But like not in this, I didn't take it badly as like, oh, y'all treat me different because, you know what I'm saying, I look like one of y'all. It was just more of like, I wonder how this will react in other settings, right? As far as like business deals, things like that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's when I started realizing like, yeah, I have to, it's not even about dressing like them. It's more so of dressing just more presentable. Mm-hmm. They wear tennis shoes and jeans everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what a lot of us tend to do is that, or because I see a lot of people, they even getting married, but they still want to be, they got to be so hard that they got to wear tennis shoes to their wedding. It's like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to water it down every time. You know what I mean?
Right.
The comfort zone sometimes, get out of your element. And you'll see that it's different over on this side when you're wearing suits and like, you know what I'm saying? It's easier to have these conversations at times. Or it's easier to make these deals at times. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I was noticing, especially with me getting older and maturing. That's something that I hold true to, because I've noticed like the types of people that that I'm able to kind of surround myself with now compared to when I got on t-shirt and jeans and some tennis shoes. It's like people overlook you. They don't see you as they don't see you as a fashion icon, or they don't see you as this esteemed business individual or this educated individual. They don't see you as that. But when you dress, you know what I'm saying, well, people automatically assume that you're well educated, well read, well trained. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They assume all of that. And like I said, it's not like they say we aren't supposed to judge a book by its cover, but
we do.
We all do. You know what I mean? So
we do.
That's what's gonna speak for you. The way you dress is gonna speak for you before you can actually speak, you know what I'm saying, for yourself.
Right. Yeah. Right. We've got somebody in the audience that's asking, how do you feel? Oh yeah, you've got another call, so we've only got a few more minutes. But how do you feel about bow ties? They want to know, how do you feel about bow ties?
I love bow ties. So when I first really started becoming known for my style, like in wearing suits, it was because I was wearing bow ties. So I have like, well, I'm not sure about now, but at the time I had like one of the biggest, I had the biggest bow tie tutorial on YouTube.
Okay.
Really?
How to tie to do a whole bit. Huh?
Yeah, so I taught you how to tie the bow tie. So you're still on YouTube. I think it has like 1.5 million views on it. But that was like 10 years ago when I did that. It was like 9-10 years ago.
Okay, wow, that's really something.
Bow tie, man. I just don't wear bow ties too much anymore just because I've kind of shifted things. But
wow, that's really something. But I promised everybody we're going to talk a little bit more about the Met Gala and the Emmys fashion. What did you have a favorite from the Met, or something that you really hated? Or
from the Met
Gala, for example?
I liked, who was it? Hold on, who was it that wore it? I mean, it was actually a woman.
Because I tell you,
the horse lady?
Oh, no, there was somebody that came to a horse's head. I don't know what that was about.
I can't think of who. Was it? Somebody. I forget what it was. It was like made out of all these little small like discs and
Oh, that was Michelle Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle Union, yeah. I was like, that's hard.
Yeah,
I take it, but that's hard.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite designers. I'm trying to think of the designer.
If anybody knows who that designer was, that was gorgeous.
I can never pronounce it properly, but they designed her. They designed Tessa Thompson that night. And Tessa Thompson had on a cowboy hat made of black women's braids.
Oh, yes, right.
What was happening?
Everything was fire.
Iris Van Herpen or something like that. I ain't never heard.
Well, our friends Wayman and
Micah, you know
Wayman and Micah, they designed, a number of people, and they're always fabulous with what they do. Who did they
style?
They styled. Yeah, they style a lot of especially black women, and they do a great job with it, these two black young men. And then of course the Emmys. Did you have anybody favorite from the Emmys?
Outside of Cedric.
Outside of Cedric, because we know.
I feel like nothing's really standing out to me from the Emmys.
Yeah, they were. I remember.
You know who I thought was great, and I thought she would look beautiful on the red carpet. The black woman from Nailed It, and I can't think of her name, but she looked beautiful on the red carpet.
Or the woman that wore the yellow. She did the show. Michaela. She looks fantastic.
Serena styled her for that.
Serena who?
Not Serena. Zuri.
Oh, Zuri. I was gonna say. When they get it like that, okay.
But
you have to go, Thrash. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. You've always been like a brother, we love you like family. So thank you so much.
Same here. It goes both ways. I appreciate it.
My suits, I'm gonna have to, get them custom made because they, off the shelf don't work with my stomach size. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm here for.
Okay, we're gonna have to bring Clyde over to see you sometime.
Yeah, man.
But you've got your own fashion house now. What's it called?
No, I mean, so I think you're still referring to my style house I used to have. I don't have that anymore. Now I just strictly design, so I just have my private studio now.
Okay, you have private
She doesn't
studio
want
for
to let
that.
that go.
No, yeah, that
She
that
doesn't wanna
place was
believe it.
beautiful. And you've got your books. What are the 2 books we need to
No,
check?
I mean, so all of that is older stuff. The book was named The Tutorial Rockstar, but that was a couple of years ago. But I mean, really, I'm just working on building the brand, the Thrash Bespoke. Just really just working on building that right now. Just
Well, we've got, like I said,
creating bigger moments for us, and yeah.
oh, gosh, thank you so much for being on. We'll have to talk to you again. You have to let us know when you're designing for some other folks, and we'll just pop you on real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely got some other good things coming up right now. So, yeah,
Jonathan McReynolds just came on.
He said, my bro.
You see Jonathan McReynolds?
Yo, what up, bro? Yeah.
Found out you do his hair this whole time.
Yeah, we love Jonathan. I think I hope he wants to come on the show.
I'm trying to get Jonathan in a suit, but it'll happen when it's supposed to happen.
You know what? Let me tell you something. Jonathan could wear one of those plaid things over, because he's got that model figure. I would love to see that.
He is
like all
fighting
plaid.
his model calling. That's what's happening.
All right, I need to run. It's 5 o'clock on the dot, right? I gotta hop on this.
All right.
Take care,
Thanks so much.
Bye, bro.
All right.
Oh, hello.
Hello, what's
Thank
up?
you so much for watching Carfitable
Yes,
Talks.
thank you.
Please remember to press that like button, and we need you to subscribe. And also,
Leave some comments. Really need to hear from you.
thank you.